Caesar.
I'm Juri. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, I'm Juri, and I'm doing this interview because I got an assignment for school. The assignment means that I have to interview someone about global health. Do you know what global health is?
Not exactly.
Okay, now coming back to that later. From a different culture, so what for culture are you?
My origin is I'm Turkish, from Turkey, with a little bit of Arabic in it. Yeah, that's my culture, to be honest.
Okay, and where did you live for a certain time?
I was for approximately 4 months in Curacao. Yeah, it's shit.
Nee,
It's kut, sorry, ik kom er niet uit.
wat voor woord zoek je?
Het is een hele andere wereld.
Totally another
It's
world.
another world. It's another world. Okay, I think you're right. It's another world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very different culture from the Netherlands, to be honest. Not only with healthcare, but also with the people, the way of living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you expecting from this interview?
Yeah, because it's going about healthcare, I'm thinking it's going about healthcare.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good
To be
answer
honest.
that you think about it. Now, this interview is going about healthcare and global health,
Yeah.
and we're going to discuss 3 topics that are cultural differences in healthcare,
Yeah.
disease perception,
Mhm.
the way people look on having a disease
Diseases,
or an
yes,
infection,
yes.
and perception on healthcare profession. So your opinion about healthcare professionals like nutritionists or doctors.
Mm.
This interview is going to take 25 minutes. After this, 20 minutes,
Okay.
I think. Now, so how was the healthcare system regulated in the country where you have lived?
I didn't have much to do with healthcare because I wasn't ill, but we were working on a new hospital, so we learned a lot about how the healthcare is. And so the problem with the healthcare on Curacao is that you don't have X-ray scans and difficult treatable diseases. So
Okay.
yeah, that's the problem there with healthcare.
So they don't have many opportunities to.
No, yeah, they have, but just the basics. Not as advanced as in the Netherlands, of
Okay.
course, but it was normal.
And
Not
why do you think it was like that?
because the people who were treated in Curacao were mostly having, if they were ill, they had a disease what was curable for there.
Okay.
What they're doing now is, finding how do you call it? Finding solutions for difficult diseases, but that's a small part of the country.
Okay. And what do you think of the healthcare system here in the Netherlands
Yeah,
compared to?
yeah. I think it's a
Curacao?
big difference, of course. The healthcare system in the Netherlands is way more advanced, way better than there, because as I said before, it's just the basics in Curacao, but of course a little bit with the Netherlands, the impact of the Netherlands.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer. Thank you. Can you list a number of functions of healthcare system?
To be honest, no.
No.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Healthcare functions, what do you mean exactly?
Healthcare system is like een gezondheidsstelsel in Nederlands.
Yeah.
En de functies daarvan. The functions of it.
So for example?
Like treating people better if they have a disease or an infection, or curing cancer, that kind of things. If people broke a leg, go to the hospital. That are
No,
functions.
I still don't know any.
Oh, okay.
No.
Go to the next question.
Okay.
If you do not feel quite right, how quickly do you tend to go to the doctor?
Yeah, I think the doctor is you only have to go to the doctor if you're really ill, and with ill I mean not able to do your regular routine. So
Okay.
difficulties with waking up, not possible, no possibilities of going to your work, not function like a normal healthy person. So I think that's the moment when I go to the hospitals when I'm that kind of ill.
Okay,
Not
so if you have a little bit pain in your leg, you don't go to the
no,
doctor.
no.
You think, let's wait and we see.
It will cure itself.
Okay. Yeah, how did the process went in the country where I've lived? When you want to go to the doctor, how was it going? Do you first have to go to what in the Netherlands called huisarts?
Hmm.
Or did you go directly to the hospital?
No, there's only one hospital on Curaçao, so you don't, as in the Netherlands, go to the what you call huisarts, but you straight go to the doctor, and you pay a standard amount of money. That's for everybody. So,
Yeah.
and if you pay that, you can go to the doctor whenever you want. So people tend to go faster to the doctor when they have something, and yeah, if they can afford it. What also is a part of the Curaçao, the poor society, part of society. Yeah, then they get even more ill and.
And what do you mean by not having enough money? Do people have to pay?
Yes, everybody in on Curaçao has to pay a certain amount of money. That's for everybody the same.
Like in
So
the Netherlands?
Like in the Netherlands, yes. Some kind of healthcare. How do you call it? It's like a subscription for the hospital, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So yeah.
And did you have to pay?
No, if you are from another country and you work only on Curaçao, you have to get your insurance, a working insurance, and the working insurance you pay in the Netherlands because it's a part of, officially it's a part of the Netherlands. So if you pay that, the Netherlands will speak, talk, negotiate with the hospital in Curaçao, and they will find a solution to help you.
Okay, and did you have to go to the hospital?
No, no.
You did not really.
I'm glad I didn't have to go.
Okay. Yeah, how did people deal with their health in the country where you have lived? Are they like eating healthy or not so healthy?
Not really, because as in America, the percentage of obesity is 52% in Curacao, so people are living, not so healthy, to be honest. And you can see it in the daily life. So you have different places, like we have Mick Drive. You have Snack. A snack is like a caravan.
Yeah.
And you can buy only fast food for cheap prices, and you see that everything has to be imported in Curacao. So if you want to buy some healthy food, you pay the maximum price. So if you're poor, you can afford it, and of course you will live the unhealthy life.
So it's a little bit like American lifestyle.
A little bit like the American lifestyle.
Okay. But the people didn't quite pay.
How do you mean? How they deal with their health? Yeah, it's different.
Do they find their health important, or?
Of course they find their health important, but they also find their possibility of living important. So they have to make a choice. If you can't afford to live healthy, you also can't live to afford.
Okay.
So you also can't afford to live like
Like
things you want. You can go on a vacation. You can buy what you want. So that's the struggle there.
What was the price of like cabbage or other?
For example, how do you call
vegetables?
it? A cup of peanut butter, for example, costs approximately 10 gulder. 10 gulder equals 5 euro.
Oh, that's really much.
The prices are very high. If I want to buy 4 apples, simply 4 apples isn't even a half a kilo. You pay 6-7 gulden. So that translated it's 3.50 €. So.
Yeah, and what did you eat when you was there? Did you eat a lot of fast food, or did you eat vegetables or rice or healthy meat?
To be honest, I ate a lot of fast food, local food, not because it was cheaper but just I wanted to taste the culture of Curacao, how they eat. So you also learn different kinds of food. So that was the reason I was living unhealthy. I gained 10 kilos, so.
Okay, that's
Yes.
pretty much for 4 months.
But you can, so that's also the way you can see how fast it goes if you eat, if you only eat fast food.
And
That's the consequences.
mostly fats. Yeah,
Of course.
then you're gaining weight.
Of course.
Yeah, what was the people's perspective in the country you lived about being sick or not feeling well?
Yeah, I have a great example of someone who couldn't pay healthcare. He got a pin, how do you call it? A pin that you normally do in the concrete.
Okay,
You have to, to place the concrete.
Yeah.
He fell off a floor, and the pin almost, drilled him. But luckily, it went through his leg. So the pin was through his leg. So he didn't have enough money to pay the healthcare, so to go to the doctor. So he had to replace the needle himself without.
Okay, that's really strange, because if you
Normally,
have that in the air,
of course,
you can always go to the doctor or
Yes.
the hospital.
and the how do you call it? The company paid for his how do you call it, for his to get better.
To get better,
They paid
okay.
to make him better, but so you learn normally if this happens with a normal company, but because the company I was working for and he was working for was a Dutch company.
Yeah.
But if it was a local company, they would say, it's your own problem. We are not going to pay for this. And then you learn how big the problem is you actually have. Because with a pin in your leg, you know what happens when you have a pin in your leg, and you can afford to.
It's
a big drama. So that's how they think in Curacao. It's a little bit like free for all. It's if you can pay it, it's okay, and if you can't pay it,
Okay, that's a big difference.
Yes, it's like
hear.
the American culture.
Okay. How much you know about diseases, infectious or actual body disorders?
In Curacao or generally?
In general.
In general, yeah. I know the diseases, infections, and body disorders I personally have or have experienced with someone else. And of course, a lot of mainstream diseases, as the bad ones like cancer and that kind of diseases. So I have a little bit of.
And did the people in Curacao know about diseases, infections, or?
Yeah, they actually know, because they have their own mainstream diseases. They have what do you call it?
Tropical diseases.
Tropical
from
diseases.
insects and other.
Of course, yes. There's how do you call it? The thing that sucks blood.
Malaria.
Nee,
A mosquito.
a mosquito that it's a tiger mosquito. It is
Yeah.
a black one with white stripes, and if it bites you, your muscles get weak. Like how do you call it? That heavy thing they inject to.
Okay,
to
yeah, like
almost-
you can't.
like
do
morphine.
anything. Yeah.
That bad. It can get that bad. So if you get stung by a mosquito, a tiger mosquito in Curacao, you also have a big problem.
Okay.
Of course, they are in the Netherlands. They can give you medicines, vaccinations, or how do you call it.
Yeah.
But if you can't afford it, of course, and you get bitten or stung or whatever, you have a big problem. So they have their own diseases, not the same as here.
What's the most common if you don't count in the infections from mosquitoes or insects?
Obesity.
Obesity?
Is that that's
Yeah,
a disease, right?
that's a Western
That's
disease.
the biggest disease or body disorder in Curacao.
Okay. If you are ill or you have something else that feels not good in or outside your body, to what extent will it affect your daily life?
How do you mean that?
Like if you have something and you're not feeling well,
Yes.
in what extent is how much does it influence your daily life?
Yeah, that depends on what the illness is or what the disease is. If I have flu, it's a matter of bite yourself through it, as they say, as a Dutch
Yeah.
term. But if I have Yeah, a pin in my leg. Of course, I can do anything. I will be out of routine for like 2, 3, 4 weeks, month.
But you are a little bit tough. Like I have flu, but I will go to work. I will go to the gym or something else.
Yes, of course. Not only because I'm tough or something, but it was also because for school I had to make those hours to get free time to get. So if there was something, and luckily there wasn't anything, but if there was something, I had to go through it as much as possible, of course. If I'm really ill, like a tiger mosquito, yes, of course I can do anything. But if I have a flu or a headache, yes, of course I have to bite through it.
Okay. And is that something you that your parents give you from the Turkish culture? Like?
No, not necessarily. My mother is more like a weak person in my eyes, because if she gets ill, she will, like a lot of women do, like you give to
exaggerating.
They exaggerate, of course. So I don't think I have it from my parents, because if my father gets ill, of course he doesn't go to work either.
So that's something you've learned yourself.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Now let's go to the next and the last topic. Perception on healthcare profession. Do you know what healthcare professions are?
You mean
that are like jobs that have to do with health, like nutritionists, physiotherapists, or doctors.
Yes, of course.
That are healthcare professions.
Yes, of course.
You know them?
Yeah, just like you said, nutrition, doctors, what you call house doctors.
I know what you mean. What's your opinion about those people and how they work in Curaçao and in the Netherlands?
Okay. In Curaçao you only have doctors, so the nutrition and the X-ray person and the how do you call it? Nutritionist.
Yeah, nutritionist.
They all are in the same building, in the same place, in the same hospital.
Okay.
So, I have no opinion about that. On one side, I think it's better, because if you have anything, you can go to the same place.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you expect to have the need of a specialist, someone who really knows what to do and have their own department. On the other hand, in the Netherlands, they have their own places to go.
Yeah.
But what they call house doctors, I don't think they are really doctors. They are just, if you have a flu or a headache, for people who are, exaggerating in my eyes, of course. I think, there's no need for those kind of people. I almost never go to them. And if I have something and I go to them, they only give me the same prescription as I can buy in the local, how do you call it?
Local store.
Of course.
But you say that people in Curaçao, like the healthcare professions, working together in one hospital. Yes. That's something that we have to do here in Netherlands, but we don't do often. Okay. So that is quite good that you have experienced that.
Yes.
Do you think healthcare professionals work together to provide optimum care, or do you think they work separately for profit?
Yeah, I heard a lot of stories about how do you call it? Medications that can cure certain diseases, and you heard that they want to keep it secret just to make money off it.
Yeah.
If I look at that side of the story, I think they are of course doing for money and for economical reasons. But on the other hand, you see that in the last years they developed a lot of curing methods and ways to get people better and very quick, of course. So I think the last years they are doing better and better.
Okay.
They're trying.
Yeah, they really do. Can you name different kinds of accessibility of healthcare professionals in different countries? So I mean the extent to which a healthcare professional can work in another country. Like I am a doctor or a nutritionist and I want to go to Uganda. Do you know how much work is that's going to take for someone, or like people they cannot go directly to a country
Yes.
to work as a healthcare professional.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of healthcare profession it is. If you're a nutritionist, I think all people are in that way the same. If you want to lose some weight, you have to eat less, and you have to eat not only eat less but also eat better.
Yeah.
But if you look at certain diseases, for example, cancer, in certain countries there's more need for those kind of people, and in other countries they have other diseases like the how do you call it, the tiger mosquito.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the disease is and what the healthcare profession is, of course.
Okay.
So I think that's the.
Yeah. Can you compare different visions on the role of healthcare professionals in your own culture and the culture that you have experienced in Curaçao? So how did the people think in Curaçao about healthcare professionals?
And in my own
Yeah.
culture, I think it's not. There's not so much difference. It's maybe the countries are, there's a big distance, of course, between those countries, but the mentality of the way of thinking when you're ill, when you have to go to work, I think it most of the time is the same.
But aren't they afraid to go to the doctor? Are there any taboos in Curaçao that are not here?
No, I don't think there are taboos or something like that. But the funny thing is, there's a how do you call it, gynecologist or
Yeah.
gynecologist. There's only one on Curaçao, but you know Curaçao is a country where a lot of people, a lot of young, how do you call it, young students
Yeah.
who go for school to Curaçao. You know what happens when boys and girls are in the same place on a
Yeah.
party island.
I know.
So I think that's a weird part, that there's only one gynecologist
Yeah.
in that country. On the other side, in Turkey, there are a lot of gynecologists, of course, because it's a big country. But yeah, there's how do you say that? In Curacao, there's more need of those gynecologists, and in Turkey, they don't need that much. So that's a big, difference, not in taboo, but in way of thinking, I guess.
Yeah, that's the answer I wanted to have. And yeah, in Turkey, how are people looking at their health and illness? Because we haven't quite talked about that.
That's true. I think they are looking good at their health because, as you know, Turkey is not as developed as the Netherlands. So there is processed food, of course, from what do you call it, multinationals, and so there are fast food chains like McDonald's and Burger King, KFC. But there's also a lot of local food, and the local food is most of the time from the farmers, and so it's how do you call it? Pure food from the land, without any hormones or what kind of stuff they put in your food these days. So it depends on where you're from. If you're from the city, from the rich part, then you eat a lot of processed food, and you see that there's a lot of obesity in that part of the country. But if you look at the farmers, the people from the country, with that kind of, you see that they are living healthy, very healthy, of course.
And there are no taboos, or people are not afraid to go to the doctor there?
No, not really. No, just like Europe. Same.
So, this interview went very well, I think. You gave really good answers on my questions.
Thank you.
I think there is a little difference between healthcare systems in Curaçao and Netherlands, and also compared to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I find that quite interesting.
Okay.
What did you think of this interview, and how this interview went?
Yeah, I think it was a fun interview. When I was talking to you about different healthcares, I was thinking about the healthcares itself. So when I was talking, I was learning something actually from myself and from the questions you were asking.
Okay.
Because if you weren't asking these questions, I wasn't even thinking about it. So it's some kind of refreshment of your brain about healthcare. So I've learned a lot of it.
Really fun to hear.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I think this interview went very good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a lot of information richer now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you very much.
No problem.
And,
Thank you.
See you next time.